I will be departing from our sequence and bringing forward this episode, which was going to be presented much later on in our series. This change of course has come about due to conversations with a few atheists following my videos. However, this could be providential in that it will give you a glimpse of where we are headed. Remember, all we are trying to do is use reason and common sense to explain truths that many already believe. By definition, an atheist is one who does not believe in God or his existence. They are guided by science alone, defined as the intellectual and practical study of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. The key point here is study of the physical and natural world, which is generally predictable. As we saw in previous episodes, apart from his biology, man defies the typical predictability of nature. Using free will, we act independently of nature. We are not restricted to the three-dimensional world that science can measure and test with certainty. We have an added dimension, a spiritual dimension, which is beyond the scope of science. I can just about hear the atheists laugh at how flippantly I arrived at such a conclusion. Let's have a look at science. We are grateful for all the contributions science has made through its investigation of natural phenomena. However, science cannot measure or predict even a single thought of man, let alone comprehend how conscience operates. When it comes to explaining the origins of the universe, scientists construct models and theories whose predictions are only as good as the measurements they can use to peer only so far back in time. The universe shows us that the rules it obeys are bizarre and profoundly different from anything scientists are familiar with. In science, there are a lot of hypotheses, theories, assumptions, postulations, and assertions, all of which sound compelling, but may not necessarily be true. For example, Newton's law of gravity was modified by Einstein's theory of relativity, which in turn was replaced by quantum mechanics. But even quantum theory has outcomes that are more probable than definite. In fact, new mathematical works disprove its viability in giving birth to the ordered universe we see today. The renowned atheist Christopher Hitchens even said that the distinct order in the universe was a compelling argument for intelligent design, the very opposite of random coincidences that atheists prefer to accept. Biologists have calculated the DNA of even the simplest of bacteria to be over 4 million characters long, while that of humans to be 3.5 billion, long enough to fill a whole library. Bill Gates commented that DNA is like a computer program, but far more advanced than any program they have created. Physicists have worked out the probability of inorganic, non-living matter becoming living matter as 1 in 26 times 10 to the power of 29. Put in perspective, the number of grains of sand in the world is 10 to the power of 20. This, in layman's terms, is ridiculously impossible. As we have seen in previous episodes, and if you haven't yet, click on I Explain Simply badge below this video and watch those before continuing. As I was saying, we have seen that this world is not limited to physical nature only. Man does not conform to the order in nature. We are above nature, or in Latin, super nature. This is the fourth dimension, the supernatural dimension, completely outside the scope of science. So, are there any other indicators of this supernatural dimension? Yes, many. For example, there are miracles, cures, apparitions, and Eucharistic miracles that you can all Google, which science or natural law cannot explain. Having just celebrated the anniversary of Our Lady of Fatima, I would like to mention the miracle of the sun that occurred on that day, the 13th of May, 1917. 3 young, uneducated shepherd children led over 70,000 people, including journalists and scientists, to experience a sign from heaven promised to them by the Mother of Christ. Thousands saw the sun apparently spinning in the sky, becoming blue and then yellow and changing size for about 10 minutes. True enough, scientists rubbished the event with the usual theories of solar flares, hallucinations, etc., to fit their disbelief of supernatural phenomena. Yet the bigger miracle really is how would 3 uneducated children even know that such an event would occur? And what were the chances that it occurred on exactly the same day the Virgin Mary promised a sign? Another coincidence. What about the hundreds of abandoned crutches that continue to be left there at Fatima, Portugal, as a result of miraculous cures? There will always be those who stick to their guns and claim coincidence and a series of blind accidents as explanation for the foundation of the universe, and describe men as a product of evolution. They keep searching for the missing link that will prove this theory. We have that missing link, the link that connects all the dots and makes sense of life: God. In matters beyond the natural, we have seen that science is not certain, yet atheists bank on it. They claim that those who believe in God continue to live in the dark ages. It is they, rather, who prefer to live in darkness, who have chosen to draw down the shutters on the spiritual world, on what people have acknowledged for centuries. Look, if at the end of our life there is nothing, would our belief have made any difference? No. But what if at the end of our life there is a God and a judgment that our conscience had intuited? Then our decision to have refused to believe would have made a big difference. We all take out insurances for cars, houses, work, etc., not because we will have accidents, but in case we have them, for peace of mind. Take out some spiritual insurance. Investigate religion. Has God spoken or revealed himself? Keep following this channel to find out. And until next time, God bless.